Hello everyone and welcome back to the SteemTrail Gaming podcast. Today is the 23rd September of 2018. My name is Kralizec and I will be one of your hosts for this evening. The second host is Tygergamer. Hey Tiger, how are you doing?
I'm doing excellent. How about you?
Oh, I'm doing pretty well, but for some reason, just right now, your audio quality went to shit. I don't know why. It was working perfectly like 20 seconds ago when we did the pre-check. It's like the internet just went out of the window when is it me just streaming? That's weird. Never happened before.
Yeah.
But I can hear you, so hopefully it will not be a problem.
Yes.
So, we are here to talk about video games. Let's talk about video games. So we've been a bit of a pause. We both went on vacation. But what did you get to play during your vacation?
Well, first I played some of Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Mm-hmm. And how was that?
So far as I'm enjoying it. It's just really, if you played the previous two Tomb Raider games, you pretty much know what to expect in terms of gameplay and what to do. Yeah, you have to explore part of Peru, so you have to explore new locations. So.
And so you're saying there's nothing new really there? Is there like completely nothing new, or just said at least something new?
For one, you can instead of just challenge teams, you can there's these smaller teams called crypts, which you can go and complete them, and also in this game you actually have towns that you can go into and buy upgrades or buy new items for your inventory. So that's new. And another mechanic that you can do now is open the tree and use your bow and arrow to use it as a rope to like hang somebody from a tree. So yeah, pretty much it's the same old Tomb Raider games. But hey, if you like that, you'll like this.
Okay. I haven't played the previous Tomb Raiders, to be honest. I've never been a fan of Tomb Raider in general. It's just not my genre. It's too linear for me. But mostly I've heard really good things about the new Tomb Raider trilogy, I guess.
Yeah.
I'm really pissed about this Skype not cooperating. Can we just try to restart the call so maybe it works better?
That.
Okay, I'm gonna end it. You call me back.
Go for it.
Yeah, sorry about... We did a pre-check and everything was flawless. I even tried lowering the stream quality by slightly reducing the output. Let me actually put it to bitrate 2000. That might be enough. Hopefully Skype decides to cooperate. I think it's just Microsoft being angry at us. So, try talking now. See if it's better.
Hello?
It's still shit. I don't know why. But okay, let's go back to Tomb Raider. How much of it did you play?
I'm like 25% of the way through it. Mainly, I should play something else, and we can say here in a bit. So I've yet to beat it, and not to mention it came out 2 days before I went on vacation, so I would get to play as much as I would like to. So.
Yeah, I can imagine that. Well, I myself on vacation didn't get to play much either, to be honest. I actually only got to play a mobile game for like review purposes. It's a game called Tiny Dangerous Dungeons, and I had a certain idea. I was like, well, Metroidvania seems to be a really popular genre. It seems to be one that I think could fit very well on like a cell phone. And I found this, and I'll be honest with you, I was more than pleasantly surprised. The game actually is a Metroidvania. It is rather simplistic. You know, you don't have many abilities. You pretty much only have a jump button. You have like an attack button that you actually acquire later on, and you only have a throwing knife. So there's not that much strategy when it comes to combat and these sort of things. It's more in terms of a platformer rather than a, you know, typical Metroidvania these days. But the thing is, it's free, and for free, it's actually pretty awesome. It's both on Android, it's both on iOS, and it's a Metroidvania. If you enjoy Metroidvanias and you want to play one on your phone, you cannot go wrong with this one. Actually, it was sort of inspired me. So remember when we were talking about Pixel Game Maker?
Yeah.
I was thinking like that would be a perfect platform to make a great mobile Metroidvania. Because, you know, you get rid of all the coding, so you essentially only need to create the visual assets and then create the dungeons themselves. I found out, for some reason which completely eludes me, Pixel Game Maker does not support outputting for Android.
Huh.
That seems weird to me. It seems like the most obvious feature for that, as that just seems like, you know, games could be built in that perfectly for mobile phones.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it just sort of pisses me off. There is an RPG Maker like add-on that allows you to export for Android, but there isn't one for Pixel Game Maker. And I think honestly this would fit better, and I hope it gets created soon, because man, I would actually go and try to create a whole game, and a game that I think would be semi-decent. And yeah, for free, Tiny Dangerous Dungeons. Go try it out. It's a good game for your phone. Okay, what else did you play?
Alright, and a game that I've actually spent a lot more time with, and considering it came out the week prior to Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I pretty much 100% of this, and that's Marvel Spider-Man for PS4.
Okay, that was pretty expected from you. Marvel's Spider-Man. So what can you tell us about it?
Well, first off, the swinging in the game feels great.
Yeah, that was everybody's biggest concern. Whether the swinging will feel good, and if it won't, it will be a flop.
Oh man, it feels great. I really like Insomniac's version of Spider-Man. Even though they've added some new stuff in here, pretty much though they've made this version of Spider-Man their own. And I've really enjoyed my time with the game.
Oh, that's good to hear. And by the way, your audio has been fixed for some reason.
Yeah. Well, first off, I can get into it feels good. Makes you feel like Spider-Man. The traversal feels great. When you're swinging through the city, you don't have to worry about hitting into buildings, because as soon as you like swing into a building, he goes into the run animation that allows you to like run across or up a building. So, and also, this wouldn't be an Insomniac game without some form of gadgets or weapons. And in this game, you have to like choose between 28 different suits, all with their own variant powers. And And also, with the suits and their accompanying powers, you don't actually have to, like, one suit has one power and another suit has another. Thankfully, you don't have to choose that suit to use that power. You can just go in, choose the suit that you want, and then if you want to use another suit's power, you just go into the suit power menu and choose whatever power you want. So you're not forced to be a certain type of Spider-Man. You can choose what kind of Spider-Man you want to be. So
that's actually cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and also, Spider-Man also has these gadgets that you can use too, like a trip web where you like sit on a mine, and if enemy walks past it or under it, it's pretty much webbed to whatever surface the mine is attached to. So you can use that. Yeah.
Well, all that stuff seems pretty good, to be honest.
Yeah, it does, and not to mention if you can go into situations with stealth, or you can just go out punching people left and right. So you can choose whether you want to go on stealthily or not. So that's good too.
Yeah, all those things are good to hear.
Yes. And the story, dude, if you've watched all the Spider-Man movies up to this point, this game's story is better than the movies.
So, I actually have a cool tidbit here. There's literally the new Spider-Man movie is being filmed like 2 kilometers away from me right now at this moment.
That's cool. That's cool.
So I know Spider-Man is going to go to Prague, like in the story, in some of the next movies, because when you go to the city square here where I live, there's like a huge set up. It says Prague Festival of Lights. And yeah, they're filming Spider-Man. There's a lot of people there.
Cool.
There's like a lot of whores there. Literally whores just waiting for the people who come for the production to get laid. Like, you can literally see them standing around the square. It's hilarious.
Oh, wow. Yeah, the story of this game is better than all the previous Spider-Man movies. And Insomniac, they've done a phenomenal job with this game.
But there were some controversies surrounding the game. I think you wanted to talk a bit about Polygate.
No, I don't even give a crap about that.
But there was another one which sort of surprised me. And while like some people might be like, okay, that's just bullshit and it's just a game, who cares? I think I actually understand it. So some people were complaining that Spider-Man is helping the police in the game. And when I first heard that, I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's a hero. Of course he's going to be helping the police. But then I read a bit more, and their complaint was actually about a thing I can understand. They were complaining that Spider-Man was helping to fix this like New York city-wide network that was constantly monitoring everyone. And I was like, yeah, that actually sounds bad. Like, real bad. That doesn't fit in with Spider-Man's character at all. So, did you hear about this thing?
Yeah, and, at first, when I first started playing the game, I did, bat an eye at that at first, but I was like, it's a game. And these towers, even though they're part of a surveillance state, they allow for some of the gaming stuff to get through. So, and also, not to mention, in the game, like when you go and help stop a crime, some of the police will thank you, and others will, of course, be against you, saying, my bad, saying, we don't need you here, go away, and all that. So he does have a love-hate relationship with the police. So
yeah, as most heroes
Yeah.
should have, to be honest.
Yeah. Yeah. If you have a PS4 and you want to play this game, go and pick this game up. It is worth it.
Yeah, I can imagine. It sounds like a game that is worthy of picking up, and makes me sad that it's not available on PC.
Yeah. Yeah. But in all honesty, and Sonic has said time and time again that they would not be able to make this game without PlayStation. So
Yeah, isn't Spider-Man owned by Sony?
I think the movie rights are,
Yeah, they aren't they?
and possibly the video game license now, since it's not in Activision's grasp anymore. So
yeah, maybe they like bought it up, so they could actually produce it. That would make sense. So that's maybe why Insomniac couldn't produce it otherwise.
yeah, but actually, it was actually Insomniac that actually one of the producers at Sony actually came and talked to the CEO of Insomniac, Ted Price, before they started development on the game,
Mm-hmm.
and they asked them, "Would you like to do a Marvel game?" And they said, "Choose whatever character you want to do a game on, and we'll support it." And after they had a meeting about it, everyone was like, "Yeah, let's do Spider-Man."
You know what I want to see next, like from them? Doctor Strange.
Ah,
Not Iron Man, not Thor, not any of the like quote unquote big guys, but Doctor Strange I think could have so much fun with combat. That would be really cool, I think.
I can see another studio doing that, but Insomniac, I think Spider-Man and Insomniac, they're like a good match.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. But I was more like thinking if I got to make a game on a character of my own choice. What would you choose? Which character from the Marvel universe?
Oh man,
I think Thor would be in the end boring, because you really don't have that many options than just smash stuff with your hammer or axe these days. Iron Man could be fun, but again,
it could be.
Star-Lord could be fun. That could be like, just Guardians of the Galaxy game. It could have a benefit of having multiple characters.
Yeah, true.
I'm wondering, like, from the movies, Hulk could be fun if done properly. Like, just smash.
Yeah, but, honestly, after playing Spider-Man, I kind of think of another character, because in Insomniac they've done justice to Spider-Man, and I can't wait to see what they do for the sequel.
Nah, better justice than Justice League.
Yes.
So I'm gonna guess you're definitely recommending this, right?
Yes. Yep, sure am.
It's good to hear. And during my time on vacation, I got to play one more game, and this one I played almost exclusively with my girlfriend. And it's a game I talked about a bit in the past. It's the board game Talisman, the Digital Edition. And as I said, I love this board game. It's awesome. The thing is, we discovered we're playing a bunch of stuff wrong, actually. Like, for example, there's like a card. It's like a follower for you. And it's like an old witch. And if you pick it up, all other followers leave you. And how we used to play it is that all the followers you had, and usually you would like get this card in the end game when it was worse to get her. You wouldn't get her like the third card before you got anything. You could just get rid of her. You would get her once you're getting to the end game, and suddenly you're like losing half of your stats because you found this fucking follower. And we played it like all the followers just get left on the spot where you got her because they left you. And we discovered they should be discarded, so nobody has access to them. So that's like, for example, how we played the game wrong. There's a bunch of other occasions, and yeah, the digital edition is pretty good. I do have one complaint about the AI though. We discovered that the AI can get pretty buggy at times. So, for example, we played with AI one night because we were like, okay, it's not worth to play this game just 2 players. It's better to add some AI. And the AI got like cursed, and it could only move one turn, one like spot per turn. And it needed to cross water to get rid of this curse. But it was at the exact spot that it was the furthest to get away, to get to water. And it would have essentially need to walk all across the board to get to water. Though, but it could cross water pretty close if it went down. So it tried going down, and then it realized that next turn it would have to go against an enemy that it could not beat. And it would just lose a life. And it got stuck in this loop where it would go down to the spot, realize, oh, there's an enemy, I can't really go there. It went up and then realized, okay, I need to get to water. The closest water is down. It went down. And it actually just like took place until one of us killed the beast that was just standing in its way. And we farmed the shit out of this AI. Because it was super weak. It couldn't get like any bonuses because it couldn't get anywhere. And it was like finding items, and you know, if you beat up another player, you can steal one of his items. So that's what we just constantly did, because we were like, I was playing like a witch, which is usually like a wisdom based character. You try to defeat enemies with your wisdom. By some weird occurrence, so okay, you start with strength 2 and wisdom 5. I ended up playing the witch. At the end of the game, I had strength 15 and wisdom 7. So I was like this mega beefed up Schwarzenegger of a witch. It was like, I'm gonna cast a spell. My fist punch. It was sort of hilarious. And my girlfriend, yeah, my girlfriend, she played a thief that game. And the thief is like, you know, more strength oriented, and she ended with like wisdom 17 and strength like 4. So she was this thief that was super wise, but always stole. That game made literally no sense, but it was hilarious on the other hand.
Yeah, I bet.
Okay, and that's it for the games I played during the vacation, to be honest.
Same here.
So I guess it is time to go into the news.
Yep.
And sadly, we have to start with sad news. We're going to start with a moment of silence for a 15-year-old adolescent from Russia who appears to have committed suicide after losing in an online video game by decapitating himself with a chainsaw. Before we go into the moment of silence, there are some speculations whether he maybe have been incited to suicide. We talked about the Blue Whale game recently, and this game has been fairly popular in Russia over the years. It's where it originated from, and there are some speculations that he might have been playing some sort of variant of this game. The other side of the speculations is that he was just addicted to gaming and he couldn't handle loss. But yeah, either way, it's a sad story. As we say always, if you ever feel like you're in a spot where you're even thinking about committing suicide, seek help. And now for a moment of silence. Okay. I hate doing these news, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
It's just awful when you hear about stuff like this. And
Yeah,
sadly,
really.
sadly, our next piece of news is not optimistic either. We're gonna have to talk about China, as China has blocked Twitch last week. Twitch is no longer a thing in China. So, again, there are two ways of people looking at this, two speculations essentially. One is that Twitch has just been growing too fast on the Chinese market. It has been outcompeting its Chinese competitors. The other one is that this is a continuation of the China's quote-unquote crusade against video games. If you want to know more about that, I suggest you check out our last podcast where we talked about that a little bit. But essentially, China is just cracking down on video games pretty hard. And this is a pretty big hit to Twitch. Obviously, Twitch isn't the most popular streaming app in Asia. There are other services that provide this, including Duju, YY, Huya, and are pretty much Chinese Twitch. But where it comes as a hit, I think the most, is for esports. Let's face it, esports are majorly a thing in Asia. I'm not saying they're not a thing in the West. On the other hand, if you compare the numbers, no, they aren't. What do you think of this? Do you think it's just Twitch getting too big? Do you think it's just China cracking down on games?
Also, I think it's I'll say it's a little bit of both. You know, Twitch getting too big, and of course, since Twitch getting so big and China is starting to crack down on games, it really is a problem for Twitch. But hey, it's sad to see people not be able to use Twitch in China now. So
yeah, lately I've been just getting more and more afraid of China. People just don't realize. We just hear of China and we still imagine China is living in the 50s. It's not the thing. China is a quote-unquote modern country. It has all the technologies. It's fucking huge. It has 1/7 of the world's population. Stuff will happen. And I'm not sure it will be good stuff.
yeah. Yeah. Also, I also believe that China has gotten too big too.
Yeah, China is. Yeah, it's fairly obvious that China will just demand things, and people will have to give it them, and it is scary. It is completely scary. It's just you hear people saying, "But what about Russia?" And you're like, "Who the fuck cares about Russia? Look at China."
Yeah, really.
And there's like, but they're just making stuff for us. Yes, they're making stuff for you, and they're making shit ton of money out of it. And they're investing it all into control of everything.
Yeah.
Well, moving on to the past week's big controversy. So I know this isn't completely gaming related. This is more general entertainment, I would say. So this is about Ciri in the upcoming Witcher Netflix series. And apparently, they're looking for someone of a minority to play the role of Ciri. More specifically, they're looking for someone black, Asian, or minority ethnic. So I want to start here with something. I don't give a crap whether you're black, yellow, green, whether you have a penis on your head, whether you have a vagina on your ass. I don't give a fuck who you are as long as you're a good person.
Yeah.
I really don't give a crap. The thing is, Ciri is described by Andrzej Sapkowski very, very well in the novels. Like, apart from Geralt and maybe Yennefer, she is the best described character. We literally know she has a tattoo near her vagina. That's how much detail we know about Ciri. And she's definitely not white. She's as white as Geralt is.
Mm-hmm.
She has to be able to pass for his daughter. And Geralt, if he's white, great-haired, yeah, this black girl, she's my daughter. That makes total sense, dude. And it's set in a medieval Slavic world. Just honestly, I think it's just racist to want to put her in a Slavic world.
Yeah. But also, the way I see it, like me, you can't tell, but I'm part Filipino, Hawaiian, and Indian in me as well, with some Irish and German too. But me, I appeal more to an Asian, so.
Yeah, I for example have some Germanic, some Slavic, some Jewish genes in myself. It's just, you know, nobody's really like quote unquote pure anything of a race. We're all mixed up as shit. But I want to say this. If they want to get a minority, go for a Polish actor.
Yeah.
Polish people are certainly a minority in the United States. They're a minority in the UK. They're a minority pretty much everywhere except Poland. Just go for a Polish actor. It will make total sense. Actress.
Mm-hmm.
But don't try to appeal to a crowd that doesn't really exist.
Yeah, really.
On average, people don't give a shit whether a role is being played by a black or a white person. We just don't give a shit. But if you're creating a character based of a character that has been described numerous times in multiple novels and it's been displayed in other pieces of media, be fucking honest to that character.
That's right.
And we're going to go called like racist for this. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
We are.
Personally, I don't believe in racism, so.
Now, racism is definitely a thing. I won't deny that, and it happens.
Yeah, true.
It happens often. There are people who are racist.
Yeah. The way I see it, though, my view on racism is it only exists because we want it to exist.
Now it exists for fairly obvious, like, no, what's the word I'm looking for? Like evolutionary traits, like evolutionary, we're just predisposed to like what is similar to us and to not like what is different to us. Let's face that. But what needs to happen? What needs to happen is to get over that prejudice. Prejudice.
Yeah.
How do you say that?
Prejudice.
Prejudice. Sorry.
Prejudice. Yeah.
And you can do that. Just be a good person.
That's right.
But to do that, you also have to not care that somebody is white.
Mm-hmm.
And these days, I feel so many people care what race somebody is.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like it.
Yeah, true.
Okay, let's move on to a next topic that is fun. This one is at least better. So, Battlefield 5 Beta has had some weird censorship going on in it. You know, most games these days have a chat filter that checks for profanities, and if you use them, they will either get immediately deleted, or you might get automatically reported, eventually even automatically banned. And you know what? I'm okay with those features, especially for games that are meant for younger crowds.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, in the Battlefield 5 beta, the filter was filtering some, let's call it interesting words. So these words include stuff like DLC or white man. EA responded saying the filter is not working as intended, which I fucking hope so. But it makes me wonder, man. There had to be somebody who added those words to the filter. And because it's such weirdly different words, you know, DLC, white man, and obviously then your regular profanities. But DLC sounds like something, you know, somebody from high up in the corporate would say just add it in so we don't have to deal with that. Especially since it's a game from EA.
Yeah.
On the other hand, white man just sounds like something a rogue employee would do on his own.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like a weird combination of words. Maybe the filter was just set up really wrong. They were maybe like trying to use something like artificial intelligence to figure out which words cause the most problems these days. Who knows? I'm not gonna say it was somebody's fault, but it's just suspicious.
Yeah, really.
So what did you think of this when you first heard about this?
Honestly, at first I didn't know what to think about it, but Battlefield 5 is on the beta. That's not the only game that has this type of censorship in it, but yeah, yeah. Honestly, I don't know what to think about this, but hopefully they'll get that rectified before the release of the full game.
Yeah, hopefully, because otherwise they're gonna be in big trouble.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do some, not bad news, I would say, but let's do some sad news. So, a guy named Tyler Schultz decided to do a really cool thing, which didn't end so well for him, let's say. He wanted to propose to his girlfriend, and he wanted to do it with a special Easter egg, which in a game he wanted to play his girlfriend with. And what he wanted to ask her was one of the questions that are the hardest to ask for any man out there. Will you marry me? So, Insomniac, actually, the makers of Marvel Spider-Man, actually allowed him to do it.
Yeah.
But it ended up as sadly as it can, I would say.
Yeah.
Just a few weeks before the game got released, the couple had broken up. in the most horrific of fashions, I would say, the girl actually ended up with this guy's brother. And man, I would punch my brother in the face like so hard if he did that. And yeah, so obviously the Easter egg is in game. It's on a like cinema, you know, those where they show what they're showing. It says, "Maddie, will you marry me?" You probably have seen it.
Yeah, sure have.
And yeah, they're not gonna get married. This is probably going to be the saddest Easter egg ever.
Yeah, really. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks for him. And but I will say so it is cool of Insomniac to do something like this.
Yeah, Insomniac actually acted very cool. What I would say is, if you're a person who's planning to propose, this is probably not the way to do it.
Yeah, really.
Just, you know what? I actually didn't tell you this yet, but I proposed during the vacation to my girlfriend, and
awesome.
She's currently my fiance.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But I would never do it this way. I just, we went on a nice walk and under the stars on the beach. I had a ring ready. That's how you do it. You do it in person. That's how you propose. Right. You don't propose through a fucking video game. It's a cool idea, but a proposal is something deeply personal.
But hey, you know what though? Think about it this way though. Him and his girlfriend, if they were still together, they could have been playing the game together in the same room, and they could have come across that together.
Yeah, I understand, but still, it's like, then the news gets of this, and suddenly they're like famous, and it ruins their lives because most people can't handle being famous.
Yeah, true.
I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't recommend it to anyone. Like, if you want to propose through a game, learn to make a game and make a little game for your girlfriend's phone that ends with you proposing. And nobody else will ever hear of it. And it will be cute. But don't go for one of the biggest releases of the fucking year.
Yeah, really. Really.
Okay, let's do our last piece of... Well, I don't know if this is bad news, to be honest. Brussels, the European Union, has now investigating Electronic Arts over a refusal to remove loot boxes from their games. This is a continuation of a story that has been going on for pretty much more than half a year now.
Yep.
Just loot boxes, loot boxes, loot boxes. Like, almost every week there's a little bit of a story we could do on it. We've been avoiding it a little bit because it's been irritating, but this one is big. So, you guys might remember Belgium did an investigation into loot boxes and their gambling laws, and they decided that some of the loot boxes do actually go against their laws, and some of them were from EA. More specifically, this was about FIFA 18 and 19, their Ultimate Team, and a few of their other games that provide loot boxes. And Belgium pretty much said, you know what, you need to do something about this, otherwise we will start prosecuting you. So, for example, Steam did something, Valve more specifically, First, I think they disabled the purchases of loot boxes for CSGO and Dota. Then they did that you can purchase them, but you cannot resell them or something. I don't remember exactly how it unfolded. But EA didn't do shit. Because, in their opinion, they are not gambling. One of the CEOs or CFOs or whatever this one is, said, "We don't believe that FIFA Ultimate Team or loot boxes are gambling. Firstly, because players always received a specific number of items in each pack. And secondly, we don't provide or authorize any way to cash out or sell items or virtual currency for real money." That's what he said in an investors call back in May. Obviously, Brussels disagrees with him, and now they are investigating him. So, what do you think of this?
Hey, I'm glad to see Belgium start cracking down on developers, and also not to mention I'm glad to see other countries starting to go against loot boxes as well. So.
In a piece of related news, I actually read a new study that came out of Australia, which looked at the psychological effects of gambling. You know what? We have been exactly right.
Yeah.
Loot boxes have this almost exact same psychological effects as gambling. And the study essentially said, yeah, minors should not be able to either play or purchase loot boxes. Or, play the games that include loot boxes. That's pretty much what we were saying. Keep loot boxes, but if you want to have them in your game has to be 18 plus or 21 plus or whatever the legal age is in your country. It's surprising to me that we didn't think of the solution that you can play the game, but you just cannot buy the loot boxes. That's actually maybe even a better solution.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But then it would suck if, like, let's say another Battlefront 2 comes out where it's pay to win, and you can't buy loot boxes. Period. It pretty much makes that game unplayable.
Well, in my ideal world, loot boxes would just not exist anymore.
Same here.
But
Same here.
I think we would be, let's call it overly optimistic if we thought that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I just wonder when, countries and governments and regulators will realize that it's actually mobile games that are mostly the issue. It's especially for children. So I want to see that happen there ASAP. Like, yesterday was too late.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do some good news. Mostly. Let's talk about the PlayStation Classic. You want to take this one? Because I'm sure you know more than I do about this one.
Pretty much Sony came out and announced the PlayStation Classic. It will come with 20 games. Five of them have already been announced, and the rest will be announced over the next few months until the system launches on December 3rd. It'll launch for $99.99 US, so that's $100.
Yeah, we Europeans are getting again skewed because it's launching for 99 euros as well. Euro is stronger than the dollar, so we're getting fucked.
Yeah. Yeah. I would say though, my only nitpick of the system is it's not gonna have like the DualShocks that came out a few years after the PS1 launch, like this controller right here. It'll be a controller, a great PS1 controller.
I have the blue
without
one.
the analog sticks.
I have the blue one. It's actually the only Sony thing I own because it's a good gamepad.
Yeah, it is. It really is. But the controllers will not be the original DualShocks. It'll be the controllers that came with the launch PS1. So that kind of narrows out some of the games that might not be on there. But what I'm hoping for is like my PS4 controller.
Mm-hmm.
If the Classic had, if they like have like a USB port, and they allow you to like plug a PS4 controller,
Mm-hmm.
that might be a workaround. So, but yeah, I cannot wait to see where the games get announced for this system.
Yeah. An interesting thing, there has actually been said the games will be different for Japan and the rest of the world.
Yeah, I can see that.
So, I wonder if they're maybe like gonna go actually like Japan, America, Europe, different kind of things.
Possibly.
Europe is also a kind of a different market from the West or the US. But yeah, it seems cool. I think it's a bit pricey for $100 or €100, to be honest.
Honestly, you're getting 20 games. That's $5 a piece for each game. Not to mention these games. Some of these games are a lot longer than what you got on the NES and SNES Classic. So games are a little bit bigger than those games. So.
How long do you think before this thing gets hacked and you can just put any game into it?
Actually, I remember watching the trailer a few days ago for the Classic, and one of the things that stood out to me was like one of the things that was in the trailer. It said 20 preloaded games. So it makes me wonder if the PS1 Classic will be linked up to the PSN store. So you can download like PS1 Classics from the store and put on the Classic. So that's just a little bit of speculation on my part, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, no doubt, if that ain't the case, no doubt that this thing will be hacked.
Yeah, that's good. It's gonna have. My personal guess is 2 weeks tops. No, you know what? The latest is gonna get hacked is Christmas. That's a nice date.
Yeah.
Okay, and let's do our last piece of news. This one is something I love. It's you know those little animal stories that happen at the end of like news segments on like TV channels?
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the story for us. So a new cookbook is coming out, and it's themed based off Fallout.
Awesome.
Yeah, and it's fucking amazing. So there's stuff like Nuka-Cola float. What else is there? Like Blanco mac and cheese, Carol's mystery meat stew.
Wow.
Yeah, it's just this looks fucking amazing, and I hope it gets released here in the Czech Republic. My favorite one by far, the one I want to cook, is Mole Rat Wonder Meat Dip.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm quite an experimenter when it comes to food. But yeah, this thing is going to be coming out, if I remember correctly, sometime in October. Yeah, October 23rd. It's called the Walled Dwellers Official Cookbook. It's your birthday, isn't it?
No. October 23rd is in the lore of Fallout. That's the day that the bombs fell.
Oh, right. I completely forgot about that, but that makes sense. Interestingly, this has actually been created by a video game food blogger called Pixelated Provisions. And they already had some recipes. So, for example, here's the Fallout 4 Uranium Cheesecake. Let me actually show this to our viewers quickly. Okay. So yeah, this is the Fallout 4 Uranium Cheesecake, and it looks delightful. You need 16 ounces of cream cheese, 3 eggs, 3/4 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of sour cream, a pinch of salt, 2 tablespoons of cornstarch, 1 tablespoon of vanilla extract, 1/2 of a vanilla bean, and 1/4 cup of heavy cream. And you need some water. You make some strawberry juice, some buttercream caramel. You mix it up, you make the cheesecake, and then you cover it up with that nice strawberry stuff. And it looks great. And yeah, there's a bunch of good stuff looking there. I would definitely try some of these out. There's some of the other stuff that is here is like Fallout New Vegas Wasteland Delight, Radiation Free Meat, etc., etc. And they have like, if you go to their recipe lead, they have like Blade and Soul recipe, Bloodborne recipe, Borderlands 2 recipes, Castlevania recipes. Yeah, obviously Diablo. Is there something like World of Warcraft here? What do you have from World of Warcraft? They have pumpkin pie and tasty cupcake. There's the cheese fondue from The Witcher 3. There's a lot of the stuff from The Sims. Few stuff from Skyrim. Yeah. If you just want to see some stuff from video games as recipes, go visit pixelatedprovisions.com.
Okay.
Okay, and I think that's pretty much it for our news today. Unless you think we missed something.
Nope.
Okay, then let's go to our third section. Let's talk about next week's recommendations. Would you like to go first?
Yeah. First of all, I'd like to recommend Valkyria Chronicles 4. Comes out on September 25th.
And what can you tell us about it?
Pretty much, it takes place in a alternate world where they're in their version of World War II, and you pretty much play as a squad leader, and you get it's pretty much like a tactical shooter where you have to like place your units in certain places to take a perfect shot, and you actually have to aim your weapon at your enemy to get a shot out. So you can't just choose who you want to shoot, and then it shoots automatically. You actually have to aim at the person that you want to shoot at, which I think is pretty cool.
Yeah. I like the graphics, like style. I don't like the fact that it looks like an anime game because I fucking hate anime.
Of course.
But
of course.
I like the style that it looks sort of comic-y, I would say.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
But yeah, it's a game that's definitely worth checking out. Again, coming out on the 25th for $60.
Yep, for PS4 and PC. And Switch. So.
Okay, I gotta say, there are so many games this week that look really good. I have a list. And so many games that are coming out this week. Like, so much stuff, and you can pretty much just find something that looks good. But I would like to begin with a game called Battlerite Royale. Because I fucking love Battlerite. If you don't know, Battlerite was sort of this take on a brawler that has been mixed in with a MOBA. So it played like a MOBA in terms of its controls, etc. But it was a brawler game. And sadly, it didn't catch on as much as people would have hoped. So they decided to take their game and put it into the new fad. And that is Battle Royale. Pretty obviously. And yeah, I think this is a game that could be fun. I think it's going to be for a long time unbalanced as hell. Because there are like literally characters that just counter each other. It's super hard. But we'll see. And there will be some cool footage of this. It's coming out on the... When is it coming out? 26th. It's going to cost $20. I know it's coming to PC. I don't think it's coming anywhere else, at least for the moment.
Yeah.
and it's coming to early access because what is in these days?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what else would you like to recommend?
Next up, I'd like to like to recommend Life is Strange 2.
I expected that somehow. So, what can you tell us about Life is Strange?
Oh, it's pretty much an adventure, choose your own adventure game. You make your own choices with their own consequences, and it follows some new characters. So I can't wait to see how the story plays out in this game. So
Yeah, and we both played the awesome adventure of Captain Spirit, which is sort of a prequel to this. And if you just want to get a taste, go and play that, and you will well, you won't know what's going to be happening in Life is Strange 2, but you're at least going to get a taste of how the game functions, I would say, and a little bit of a taste of the characters. So this is coming out on the 27th. It's going to be going out for 40 euros. I'm going to assume 40 bucks as well.
Yeah.
If you pre-order, you get a 3% discount.
Mm-hmm.
That's awful. That's an awful discount.
Yeah, really.
Who the fuck comes up with a 3% discount?
No telling.
Probably Square Enix. Okay, the next game I would like to recommend is called Grawl, I think it's pronounced. And this is a futuristic racing game with combat elements along the lines of, let's say, Death Cars from the 90s. And man, I spent so many hours playing those kind of games when I was like small. And this one actually looks good. And I'm hoping it will play well because I'm definitely going to be trying this one out. I love racing games where you can also destroy your enemies.
Heck yeah.
And yeah. If that's your sort of thing, definitely check out this game. And this one is coming out on the 25th. Sadly, we do not have a price, but I don't think it will go above $20, honestly. If it does, it's gonna be a hard sell.
Yeah.
Okay, anything else you have to recommend?
My last recommendation is The Walking Dead, the final season, episode 2.
Oh, this is literally a final recommendation.
Yeah. Yeah. Unfortunately, this might be the final episode of The Walking Dead from Telltale. Because they're shutting down, so...
Yeah, we sort of skipped over this in the news because I don't give a fuck about Telltale anymore.
The only thing I care about is The Walking Dead, and I hate that I might not be able to see the ending of Clementine's story. That's the only thing that stings to me.
Someone will pick this up. It's too successful hopefully. Not to.
Yeah. This game's coming out, I believe it was the 25th?
Yes, 25th.
Yeah. And, of course, another thing that kind of stinks to me is I'm one of the people that bought the season pass.
Mm-hmm.
So, I've only gotten... So, if this is true, I've only got, like, half the season pass.
Yeah, I can imagine that pissing you off slightly.
Yeah, it does, because the main thing, like I said, it stings is not being able to see the ending to the story. That's the real thing that pisses me off. But hey, if you're planning on,
you can just imagine you're playing really bad and they just die.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's like the true ending.
Yeah. But if you want to see a cliffhanger, and if you already bought the season pass, hey, you already get it for free. But if you want to buy these two, I would recommend, if you want to play the first episodes, find a way to buy them separately instead of buying the season pass. So at least you'll save some money.
Or maybe if you're like
unfinished, yeah.
I would say this, if you're like concerned if the story isn't ended, then perhaps like wait some time. Maybe somebody will pick the development up.
Yeah, true. Or if you really want to see how the story continues, but you don't want to put down the money, just watch somebody do a Let's Play on it.
Yeah, that's always an option.
Yeah. Yeah. It stings, but hey.
And I think that's it for the recommendations, if I'm correct.
Yeah. Yep,
so
it is.
So with that being said, that's going to be it for today, guys. We hope you enjoyed today's show, and if you did, please consider giving us a thumbs up here on YouTube and subscribe to the channel. If you're watching on Steam, maybe you want to give us an upvote and follow the blog. Either way, be sure to check out our content. You can find myself at Kralizec or at Kralizec Gaming on YouTube. Where can people find you?
Yep. You can find me on Steam as Tygergamer with a Y, and on YouTube as Tygergamer with a Y. I do mainly right now. I do Let's Plays. I'm doing a Let's Play on Marvel Spider-Man. So if you need more convincing to pick this game up, go watch some of that.
And with that being said, that's going to be it for today, guys. So see you guys later with more gaming content.
Y'all have a good one.